Good evening and welcome to Rajya TV. My name is Aditi Nagpal Kirotra and you're watching News Tonight, where we bring you fresh updates from India and around the world. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu underscored the need for a comprehensive, authentic and objective account of historical events. He was releasing the book Netaji, India's Independence and British Archives, written by Dr. Kalyan Kumar De, an associate member of the Netaji Subhash Bose INA Trust.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said that the younger generation must be made aware of India's history. Releasing the book on Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, he stressed on the need for highlighting stories of valor and sacrifices made by freedom fighters in the textbooks. He urged the youth to take inspiration from the life of Netaji and strive towards building a new India.
I call upon the youth to take inspiration from the lives of Sri Subhash Chandra Bose and strive towards building a new India, a strong, stable, prosperous and egalitarian India. Even 7 decades after independence, the country continue to face challenges in different fronts. And the youth should be in the forefront in building a new India, which is free of poverty, illiteracy, corruption, caste, gender discrimination, and where every Indian has equal opportunities. That should be our aim and our focus and our effort. Netaji's strong personality was rooted in his belief that India had a glorious past and a bright future as a nation, as a civilization, and as a culture. That was his conviction.
Vice President Naidu said that COVID-19 has underlined the urgency for countries like India for becoming self-reliant. He also called upon all stakeholders to give a major push to the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign. He also urged everyone to display greater resilience to defeat the virus and overcome the setback caused by it.
The basic aims to be vocal for local. By reducing dependence on imports, promote Indian brands and products, create consumption-led growth through domestic manufacturing, build world-class infrastructure, make Indian industries globally competitive, ensure ease of doing business, attract foreign investments and develop India into a fully developed, interdependent and self-reliant economy. Atmanirbhar does not seek to erect trade barriers or promote protectionism, but rather tap India's inherent strengths and make various sectors globally competitive.
The book is a collection of documents that throw light on the great contribution made by Netaji to India's freedom movement. The event was attended by National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, INA Trust Chairman Brigadier R.S. Chikara, Trust's Vice Chairman Surya Prakash and other members. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
India's total COVID-19 tally is now over 23 lakh, with another day of over 60,000 new cases. However, there is a silver lining as the recovery rate has improved to over 70% and the death rate has declined to 1.98%.
COVID-19 infections in India crossed 23 lakh with a single-day increase of 60,963 cases. There are over 6,43,000 active cases in the country, which makes 27.64% of the total caseload. The recoveries are over 16,39,000, pushing the recovery rate to 70.38%. Over 56,000 patients were declared cured on Tuesday. The death toll climbed to 46,091, with 834 new deaths being reported in a span of 24 hours. The case fatality rate has declined to 1.98%. With a focus on testing, India has so far tested over 2 crore 60 lakh samples, including more than 7 lakh 33,000 samples on Tuesday. The tests per million has now jumped to 18,852. Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Uttar Pradesh reported the maximum increase in cases in the last 24 hours. Meanwhile, West Bengal on Tuesday became the seventh state to record more than 1 lakh COVID-19 infections after close to 3,000 new cases were reported. More than 73,000 people, or over 72%, have already recovered from the disease, while 2,100 have died. Cases in Bihar are also growing at a fast pace. Almost 87,000 people in the state are infected. However, with just 465 deaths in the state, the death rate in the state is lowest among the 10 states with the highest caseload. While the national case fatality rate is at its lowest, states like Gujarat, Maharashtra, Delhi, Madhya Pradesh, Punjab and West Bengal have fatality rate higher than the national average. India has the world's third highest caseload after the United States and Brazil and is still reporting high test positivity rate of 9%, much higher than the WHO approved 5%. Daily active cases are also more than daily recoveries, another indicator that cases in the country are rising. If the daily recoveries start to outnumber the new cases and if this trend holds on for at least 2 weeks, then it can be an indication of the disease having peaked and a decline having started. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Many experts remain skeptical about Russia's claims on Tuesday of having developed the world's first vaccine against the novel coronavirus.
Russia is calling the vaccine Sputnik V that is jointly developed by Kamala Institute and the Russian Defense Ministry. Russia has said the vaccine has passed all necessary checks and forms a stable immunity against COVID-19. Production is expected to begin by the end of the month, while a mass vaccination is scheduled for October. But the claims have raised concerns among medical experts. US top infectious disease doctor Dr. Anthony Fauci was doubtful about the vaccine's safety and effectiveness.
Well, having a vaccine and proving that a vaccine is safe and effective are two different things. So I hope, but I haven't heard any evidence to make me feel that's the case, I hope that the Russians have actually definitively proven that the vaccine is safe and effective. I seriously doubt that they've done that.
In India, AIIMS Director Dr. Randeep Guleria expressed concern over the vaccine's safety and efficacy.
अगर रशिया की वैक्सीन सक्सेसफुल होती है और वो हमें क्रिटिकली देखना पड़ेगा कि वो सेफ़ है और इफ़ेक्टिव है, सेफ़ कि उससे कोई साइड इफ़ेक्ट ना हो और एफिकेसी हो कि उससे अच्छी इम्यूनिटी आ रही है और प्रोटेक्शन दे रही है. अगर ये दोनों चीज़ें ठीक बैठती हैं तो ये बहुत कदम है कि एकदम वैक्सीन मिल सकती है. इंडिया के पास कैपेसिटी है कि उसकी मास प्रोडक्शन कर पाए और इससे जो वैक्सीन जो स्टडी ट्रायल्स हैं वो और इफेक्टिव हो जाएंगी, वैक्सीन और जल्दी आ जाएगी.
The World Health Organization is in contact with Russia and is awaiting information on the newly approved COVID-19 vaccine to evaluate it. Currently, over 100 vaccines are in various stages of development globally. 6 are in the final stage of human trials.
Novel coronavirus infections have crossed 20.5 million worldwide and claimed over 7.46 lakh lives so far.
The United States topped the tally with over 5.3 million cases. Fatalities across the country have crossed 1.7 lakh. President Donald Trump is insisting on reopening schools despite the surge in cases, saying schools are crucial for the health of the American economy.
I think schools have to open. We want to get our economy going. We have incredible numbers despite this. If we could get this going, I think it's a very important thing for the economy to get the schools going.
Brazil reported 52,160 new COVID-19 infections on Wednesday, raising its tally to over 3.1 million. Russia had a daily count of 4,945 cases, bringing total cases to nearly 9 lakhs. Death toll has surpassed 15,000 in the country. Tokyo had 188 new cases, taking Japan's tally to over 50,400 cases. In Europe, France is facing a new spike in coronavirus infections. Over 11,000 fresh cases were reported in the past week. Wearing masks is now mandatory in most public places, while gatherings have been limited to 5,000 people until 30th of October. Germany has issued travel warnings for Madrid and the Basque region after Spain experienced a resurgence of infections. It has already put Catalonia, Aragon, and Navarre on the high-risk list. Spain has reported nearly 4,900 new daily cases over the past week. The UK has entered recession for the first time in 11 years after reporting a 20.4% collapse in the second quarter. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has warned of tough months ahead for the economy.
Obviously, what we want to see is a return to economic vitality and health, and some parts of the economy are undoubtedly showing great resilience, but clearly there are going to be bumpy months ahead and a long, long way to go.
Australia's Victoria state reported 21 deaths on Tuesday, taking the total coronavirus death toll to 267. 410 new cases were reported in the state on the day. New Zealand's Auckland returned to lockdown on Wednesday after a fresh outbreak was reported in the region. Schools, public facilities, pubs and restaurants are closed. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern also deferred dissolution of parliament until next week. Meanwhile, China reported a drop in COVID-19 cases on Wednesday. 25 new cases brought its tally to 84,737. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The condition of former President Pranab Mukherjee continues to be critical and he remains on ventilator support.
The former president was admitted to the Army Hospital in Delhi on 10th August and was operated for removal of a clot in the brain. His condition worsened on Tuesday. 84-year-old Mukherjee also tested positive for COVID-19 prior to the surgery on Monday. Mukherjee's daughter, Congress leader Janmashtami Mukherjee, prayed for her father, saying, "May God do whatever is best for him."
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch a new platform, Transparent Taxation, honouring the honest, which will carry forward the journey of direct tax reforms on Thursday. Let's look at the details.
As part of the government's ongoing direct tax reforms, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch a new platform, Transparent Taxation, honouring the honest, on the 13th of August. The 2020-21 Union Budget had announced a taxpayer charter that is expected to have statutory status and will empower citizens by ensuring time-bound services by the Income Tax Department. The Central Board of Direct Taxes has carried out several major tax reforms in direct taxes in recent years. Last year, the corporate tax rates were reduced from 30% to 22%. For new manufacturing units, the rates were reduced to 15%. Dividend distribution tax was also abolished. The IT department also brought out the Direct Tax Vivad Se Vishwas Act 2020 to settle disputes. Efforts have also been made to ease compliances for taxpayers during the COVID-19 pandemic by extending statutory timelines for filing returns. Currently, most of the functions of the Income Tax Department, starting from filing and processing returns, issue of refunds and assessment, are performed in the electronic mode without any human interface. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
In a first, after their border controversy, India and Nepal are all set to hold a meeting on 17th August in Kathmandu.
The meeting between Indian Ambassador to Nepal Vinay Quatra and Nepalese Foreign Secretary Shankar Das Bairangi is aimed at reviewing ongoing bilateral economic and development projects. It is a part of a regular mechanism between both countries. This time, it is likely to take place by a video conference in view of the COVID-19 pandemic. The joint oversight mechanism was launched in 2016 to review progress in bilateral projects. In its 7th meeting in July last year, the mechanism reviewed projects like cross-border rail links, petroleum pipelines, roads, bridges, integrated border checkposts, energy, irrigation and post-earthquake reconstruction. Ties between India and Nepal frayed ever since Kathmandu published a new map of the country with 3 areas that India says lies within its boundaries shown as part of Nepal. The meeting is being seen as a positive development after the border route took relations to a new low.
The Income Tax Department conducted raids against some Chinese nationals and their local associates. The Central Board of Direct Taxes said the raids are in connection with the Rs 1,000 crore money laundering racket.
The IT department surveyed at least 24 premises in Delhi, Gurgaon and Ghaziabad. A CBDT statement said that a subsidiary of a Chinese company and its related concerns have taken over 100 crore bogus advances from shell entities to open retail showrooms in India. Searches showed that over 40 bank accounts were created in various dummy entities, entering into credits of over 1,000 crore rupees. Incriminating documents of hawala transactions and money laundering with active involvement of bank employees and chartered accountants have been found. Evidences of foreign hawala transactions involving Hong Kong and US dollars have also been unearthed. A Chinese man who got a fake Indian passport from Manipur is alleged to be the kingpin of the racket and has been detained.
In Kerala, the death toll in the massive landslide that hit Rajya in Idukki district on Friday has gone up to 53. Search operations are still going on at the site. Meanwhile, the intensity of rain has reduced even as the hilly regions are under high vigilance.
16 people have died so far, while 4 are missing in floods and landslides that hit Karnataka. 108 relief camps have been set up in 12 districts where 3,244 people are taking shelter. There has been respite and rains in many places, especially in north interior parts of the state, while showers are continuing at some places in coastal and Malnar regions. While water levels receded slightly in some places, several parts of Uttara Kannada and Belgavi remain inundated. The Met Department forecast for the next 24 hours predicts heavy rainfall at isolated places over coastal Karnataka and Ghat areas of south interior Karnataka. The Indian Meteorological Department has predicted heavy rainfall over coastal Maharashtra, including Mumbai, till 15th August. While Mumbai is expected to receive light to moderate showers, neighbouring districts of Thane, Palghar, Raigad and Ratnagiri may witness heavy rains. A similar forecast has been issued for Pune, Kolhapur and Satara districts as well.
US Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden named Kamala Harris as his running mate. Harris is the first Black and South Asian American to run for the post of American Vice President.
Kamala Harris, whose father is an African from Jamaica and mother an Indian, is currently the US Senator from California. She is the first Asian American to be nominated for a major party's presidential ticket. Biden tweeted that he had the great honor to name Harris as his number 2. He described her as a fearless fighter for the little guy and one of the country's finest public servants. Harris tweeted that she was honored to join Biden on the Democratic ticket and pledged to do what it takes to make him our commander-in-chief. The two will hold their first event together on Wednesday in Biden's hometown of Wilmington, Delaware. Harris served 6 years as the Attorney General of California before arriving in the Senate in 2016, becoming only the second Black woman ever to serve in the chamber. A fierce critic of President Donald Trump, Harris drew national attention for her prosecutorial-style inquisitions during Senate committee hearings with the Trump administration officials. Harris herself was a presidential aspirant until last year and has been urging police reform amid nationwide anti-racism protests. Her polling numbers surged after a contentious exchange with Biden at the first Democratic debate. However, the two Democrats indicated they had made amends after Harris suspended her campaign in December last year. Harris endorsed Biden's presidential bid in March this year. She will debate Donald Trump's running mate, Vice President Mike Pence, on 7th of October in Salt Lake City, Utah.
You all might like to know that the vice presidential debate is going to be held on October 7th in Utah. So my message to the Democrat candidate for vice president, congratulations. I'll see you in Salt Lake City.
Congratulatory tweets poured in from fellow Democrats, including former presidential candidate Hillary Clinton. Former US President Barack Obama tweeted, "She is more than prepared for the job," and called it a good day for our country. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
International Youth Day was observed on Wednesday. Designated by the United Nations in 1999, the day is meant to celebrate and mainstream young people's voices, actions and initiatives, as well as to celebrate their achievements. Each year, the day is marked with a theme relevant to the times. This year's theme is Youth Engagement for Global Action.
12th August is dedicated to the youth across the world every year. International Youth Day highlights the importance of young people, not just as a future generation, but also as the current driving force of change in the world. India is home to the world's largest youth population. India's youth are the world's future. To make them efficient drivers of change, the government has launched various initiatives like Skill India, Startup India and Make in India. The new National Education Policy is another effort in creating an ecosystem to unlock the immense potential of our youth. Describing India's young population as its greatest strength and asset, Home Minister Amit Shah said, the country is truly blessed to have a youth power filled with tremendous ambitions and skills. He expressed confidence that the youth will continue to strive towards Prime Minister Modi's vision of a new India. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu urged the youth to be active change agents in building a more equitable and sustainable world. He called upon the young people to work towards building a new India which is free of poverty, illiteracy, corruption and provides equal opportunities to all. Minister of State for Youth Affairs and Sports, Kiran Rijiju said, the youth play the central role in building a new India. Speaking at the UN Volunteers event, he said the government is committed to engaging regularly with young volunteers and change makers. International Youth Day 2020 also aims to draw lessons on how the representation and engagement of youth in formal institutional politics can be significantly enhanced. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Wednesday marks the 101st birth anniversary of one of the greatest scientists the country has seen, Vikram Sarabhai. A visionary scientist, also known as the father of the Indian space program, Sarabhai was responsible for initiating space research and nuclear power development in the country. Sarabhai was born on 12th of August 1919. Here is a small tribute to the man.
Born in Ahmedabad in 1919, Vikram Sarabhai believed in using science and technology as levers of development. The physicist, industrialist and innovator is remembered as the father of the Indian space program. Vikram Sarabhai is not only credited with putting the first Indian satellite Aryabhatta in orbit in 1975 from a Russian cosmodrome, but also for establishing the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO. He also set up the Operations Research Group, ORG, the first market research organization in the country. Dr. Sarabhai held many distinguished positions, including the president of the physics section of the ISC in 1962 and the president of the General Conference of the IAEA Vienna in 1972. His pioneering contributions towards the establishment and development of India's nuclear power plants for defense purposes, apart from taking education to remote villages through satellite communication, landed him with two of India's highest honors, the Padma Bhushan in 1966 and the Padma Vibhushan, which was awarded posthumously in 1972. An inspiration to young scientists of the country, Vikram Sarabhai's birth anniversary is also celebrated as National Remote Sensing Day in India. Celebrating the birth centenary of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, ISRO shared an image of the Sarabhai crater on the moon. The image was captured by Chandrayaan-2 on July 30, 2020. Union Minister Jitendra Singh also paid tribute to Dr. Sarabhai. He said ISRO's glorious achievements of recent years vindicate Sarabhai's dream of India becoming a frontline nation in space technology. Union Minister Piyush Goyal also took to Twitter to commemorate Dr. Sarabhai's 101st birth anniversary. Goyal said that Sarabhai was a visionary physicist, astronomer and innovator. He put India on the space exploration map and helped develop nuclear power. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Janmashtami was celebrated in different parts of the country on Wednesday. President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister Narendra Modi greeted people on the occasion.
In his message, President Kovind said, Lord Krishna inspires us to establish a society that's just, sensitive and compassionate. Krishna's message of Karma Yoga is a call to focus on our responsibilities without caring for rewards. Greeting people on Janmashtami, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said, the eternal message of performing our duties sincerely without attachment to results in the Bhagavad Gita has been a source of inspiration for humanity. He also said Janmashtami will have to be celebrated in a modest manner this year due to COVID-19 and hope that the festival will bring peace, harmony and prosperity to all. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also extended his best wishes to people on the auspicious occasion. Janmashtami is being celebrated across the country with proper precautions and social distancing. In Mathura and Vrindavan, it is being celebrated with all the rituals, with arrangements for devotees to watch the live streaming of the puja outside the temple.
World Elephant Day, celebrated on 12th of August, is an annual international event dedicated to the preservation and protection of the world's elephants. The goal of World Elephant Day is to create awareness on elephant conservation and to share knowledge and positive solutions for the better protection and management of wild and captive elephants. Let's take a look at efforts being made to save the world's elephants.
On World Elephant Day 2020, Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar highlighted measures to curb the incidence of human-elephant conflicts in India and reaffirmed the bond of coexistence with Hathi Hamara Sathi. He said India has nearly 60% of wild Asian elephants, not just because of strong wildlife laws, but because we Indians revere and are more tolerant and affectionate towards animals.
India is supporting more than 60% of global Asian elephant population. 30 elephant reserves have been identified by our states. India has also taken several initiatives and set standards for conservation of Asian elephants.
Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar noted that human-elephant conflict results in loss of lives in the ratio of 5:1 respectively every year. He informed that besides crop insurance, the government is working on robust and lasting solutions to minimize this conflict. The government has also taken measures to combat the illegal killing of elephants. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu also pledged his support to elephant conservation by extending his support to Hathi Hamara Sathi. In a series of Twitter messages, the Vice President urged everyone to pledge to prevent any mistreatment of these magnificent animals and the cruelty they endure in captivity. He said every effort must be made to curb elephant-man conflicts and habitat loss of elephants. Elaborating on the efforts of the government to curb the threats faced by the giant animals, he added, elephants form a crucial part of our ecosystem. They hold a place of great significance and reverence in our culture. They are empathetic, self-aware and socially intelligent. He also said, with enhanced community participation and concerted efforts of the governments, we must strive to further augment our elephant population.
The first International Elephant Day was celebrated on 12th of August 2012. On this World Elephant Day, we leave you with this video of a playful baby elephant that is sure to put a smile on your face and also reaffirm and strengthen our bond of coexistence for the continued survival of elephants.